Let's practice converting between decimals, percents, and fractions. So let's start with a fraction that I want to convert into a decimal. So we're going to take the 3 and the 5 and we're going to divide them. Can 5 go into 3? No, it can't. All right, so now we're going to add a 0 there so that then we can continue. Can 5 go into 30? Yes, it can. It goes into 30 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. And that one is finished. If your answer here is not 0, then you'll just keep adding zeros up here. Like add a 0, bring it down, put the 0 on the end, and keep calculating until you get an answer that's 0. But for us, we ended with a 0 here, so our answer is 0.6. So 3/5 is equal to 0.6. So that was fraction to decimal. Now let's look at a decimal going to both percent and fraction. So to do a decimal to a percent, all we're going to do, I'm going to rewrite it, all we're going to do is move the decimal point over 2 spaces. 1, 2, to the right, and rewrite it with the decimal point in the right spot. Here, this makes a whole number, so I don't need to worry about putting the decimal down. And add a percent sign. That's it. Pretty simple. If you had something that looks like this, 6.15, the process is the same. You move it over 2 to the right and add a percent sign. If you have something that looks like this, the process is still the same. Move the decimal over 2 places, rewrite it, and add a percent sign. Okay, so that's decimal to percent. Now let's do decimal to fraction. If you have 2 numbers behind the decimal point, you're going to divide by 100. So 15 over 100. And that's already a fraction, but we can reduce this by a factor of 5 so that it is a simplified fraction. What if you had a decimal that looks something like this? Now, because there are 3 numbers behind the decimal point instead of just 2, we're going to divide this number by 1,000. So it's all based on the number of decimal points and the number of zeros. So here we have 2 zeros because there were 2 numbers behind the decimal point. Here we have 3 zeros because there are 3 numbers behind the decimal point. And then you could reduce this fraction just like we did up here. Now let's move to starting with percents. How would you get a percent into a decimal? To get from decimal to percent, we move the decimal point over 2 spaces, but here we're doing the opposite, so we'll just move it to the left 2 spaces. So 45%, we're going to move the decimal 1, 2 to the left, so then this is equal to 0.45. What if you have something like this, 2%? Again, you're going to move the decimal over 2 places, and then we're going to put a 0 where we need an extra spot. So 0.02. What if you have something like this, like we had up here? We're going to go 2 to the left and rewrite it with the decimal point. Okay, to get from percent to fraction, you're going to take the percent and change it to a decimal, and then you'll do decimal to fraction. You'll follow this, and then you'll take the decimal and change it to a fraction like up here. So to go from percent to fraction, you need 2 steps.